Welcome to Our Energy Matters with Anthony Manna and Dena Marie. Aloha.
Aloha. Yes. I say godag. Good day to our Norwegian listeners and viewers out there. Episode number 33. Our Energy Matters.
Yay.
Yay, yes, because we've been meeting now for sharing our journey, really, in so many ways, our life journey. And then meeting, first of all, having met, a year and a half ago,
Yeah.
at least, because you interviewed me on your radio show, Lift Your Spirits, about Loukas and the Game of Chance. I hold up for people to see, which is a story for children ages maybe 8 to 13, 8 to 12, something like that, and then beyond, I think. But story of loss and redemption that you liked very much, and you were so helpful and so cordial to invite me on your show. Thank you. And so ever since then, and then I found, you mentioned your book, Our Energy Matters, The Art of Crystal Reading, Learn How to Manifest Your Heartfelt Intentions. And I decided to check it out. You know, I mean, like, what is it all about? You know, because crystal reading. So I say in my reading today, I say or my writing today, I should say, that because each time we meet, I prepare a piece to center me. So I say, from the very, very moment divine providence led me by hand and enlivened spirit to a vade mecum. That's the traditional Latin phrase for life-changing, or is it a soul-changing manual and guidebook, empowered by Dena Marie's clear-sightedness, prudence, and wakened alertness to matters and manners spiritual, a book of healing prescriptions, commandments, and loving kindness, titled Our Energy Matters, The Art of Crystal Reading, Learn How to Manifest Your Heartfelt Intentions. I found myself trekking through unfamiliar territory, guided by a celestial mentor. That's what I call Dena Marie. An alchemist of healing arts, fired by a hunger and insatiable yearning to fathom the depths of goodness, to rescue souls, selves, and spirits from arid desires, from waning creeds, dying gospels. That's me, really, all over the place, because I was breaking away from being in a monastery at one point in my life, and I felt there were a lot of dead dogmas there. And I don't put down the religion as much as I put down the dogmas, the loss or fear of self-love, and the sin of the unfulfilled life. All of these become part of her program to save people. Lady Grace, as I once anointed her when I discovered her beneficence, its clarion call beckoning me through her heartfelt Reiki empowerments, her crystal revelations, her burnished awareness of metaphoric colors, her enchanted sense of numerological recollections. With all of these perceptive restorative functions leading to health, strength, and a feeling of well-being, she leads her seekers, her clients, to a region of harmony marked by a cleansed succession of choices and glorified intentions. And then came the stunning true-heartedness and trustworthiness of the high-powered chakras. Chakras. I knew as much about chakras as I knew about the neurological components of an ant's brain, which is to say, nothing. Unfamiliar revelations to me, and that's what has made these energy entities so fresh, new, startlingly supportive of revealing who I am, what I desire, and what I hope to be. She wrote, the word chakra means wheel in Sanskrit, in ancient East Indian language. There are 7 of these major energy centers in the human body. and hundreds of minor ones, and they receive, assimilate, and distribute energy throughout our energetic fields, our auras. So like a pilgrim on the way to a holy shrine, I sought out these life-giving energies and their corresponding vibrant colors. They're crystal colors. I discovered Lady Grace's pragmatic formulas for evaluating the condition of each of these chakras. Evaluate the condition of each of the 7. Why? Well, she wrote, when one or more discs fail to spin, become bogged down, overloaded, or damaged, that pretty much covers the territory, the whole system will suffer. All of these components need to work in sync with one another in order to maintain balance in our bodily and spiritual systems. An aware alchemist of soul search, Dena Marie, proposes that we examine ourselves with yes or no questions to ask about our relationship with the chakras. She guides us through the 7 chakras with these yes and no questions, and then offers us prescriptions for the chakras in a section of the book to consider the chakras that are secure and the ones needing the most help, and then to find something simple to jumpstart these energy centers. So when I'm asking, then Dena Marie, I come to you because it's now part number 2 of the chakra test, a continuation of the test we started last episode, that was February the 25th, starting with the heart chakra. You ask the questions and I follow up with the prescriptions, to me, otherwise known as remedies.
And I love starting at the heart chakra today in our second test, because the heart chakra is the altar. So we have the lower chakras that we worked on last week, which is your physical world, your relationships, and who you are and what you came here to do. Your heart chakra is the altar to the higher chakras, which is your creativity, imagination, and inspiration. You're connected to what you call your higher self, God, spirit, universal life force energy. So the heart chakra is green and pink. Pink is when you give to yourself, and green is when you give to others. So it's a balancing act between your higher chakras, your lower chakras, and your heart's the altar. So self-love 101. Here we go. We're going to do some questions. Okay, the element for your heart chakra is air. It's love, connectedness, and group consciousness. Do you love yourself just as you are today? Are you able to forgive and let it go? Sometimes I forgive too quickly. So that might be an overcompensating. Do you feel connected to everyone around you? And at this point in my life, I do. I really do. Can you give unconditionally to yourself and others? So there's the balancing act, right? You want to make sure you don't become resentful because you give too much. Can you, without thought, reach out and touch somebody in need? And that means for me, like if I'm driving down the road and my higher self says, pull over and get the dog and put it in your car, I do. It's just one of those things that's instinctive. And there's other times if you're balanced, you know it's not your turn to save the dog, right? That's self-love. Maybe you've saved too many dogs in this lifetime, which used to be me.
Yeah. No, I know. And I think, as you know, having spent so much of my life in education, there were times when I was overbearing because I was just trying to save students who really didn't want to be there, and it wasn't my fault. And I thought, is it me? Am I doing something wrong? What's going on here?
Well, I like that you said that too, save, because I don't save people. I had a client say, I give you the tools to save yourself. So through the chakra readings and this test, or all the things I came up with, you're finding ways to do your homework and do the prescriptions, which you're going to read. So it's all in your court. You get to do it. And I've had most of my clients go do their homework and amazing things happen. I've had a few that really want other people to, we were talking about that this morning, want someone else to do it. They want the quick fix. They want the pill. They want the surgery. Instead of eating right and exercising, they may cut off parts of their body. We got to do our homework and we got to save ourselves.
Oh yeah. So there we go. Heart chakra. Now in the prescriptions, you mentioned the word connection for the heart chakra. And then here are some of the prescriptions. Hold hands Talk about how you feel. Buy flowers and date yourself. That's lovely. Talk or smile at a stranger. Tell someone you love them. Play a game with your family. Volunteer in your community. Love someone for no reason at all. Get a massage, I should say. Look at the mirror and say you love yourself just the way you are. Send yourself a Valentine. Learn Reiki, that is healing touch. Listen to Gregorian chants. Wear pink or green. Eat green food and vegetables. That pretty much covers the territory. And what I like about all of that is that there's also that business of maybe solitude or concentration, and I'm thinking about Gregorian chants because I had, as I mentioned to you before, I learned how to sing Gregorian chants because when I was in the monastery, that's what we did every day at 4:30 in the morning. So anyway, the heart chakra is so important, and so you use the word love, and then loving oneself. We talked about that on your show, Lift Your Spirits, not too long ago, and it was so healing, cleansing, to be able to learn, for me to learn how to love myself, to cherish myself, to be kind to myself. That is not something that I was raised with, let's say, as a child or as a teen. But only lately, in these past, old age years, have I come to realize how significant that is. So that's the fourth. Are we going to move on?
The greatest love affair you will ever have will be with yourself. Besides your higher self, it's yourself. And Oscar Wilde, I think that's what it was. But in the end, when I first read that, I didn't believe it because I thought you were basically breaking God's laws to actually love yourself and put yourself first. But it really is, our energy matters. If I love myself, and the more I practice saying no and say yes when I want to, I attract people that value me and they respect me. And it's very much a discipline to practice self-love.
Yeah, it is. And that's, I needed to hear that it's a discipline. It is. And I find that lately, I in my meditations, I start first with the idea of what are my intentions for the day, or what is the one intention for the day. And quite often it is to treat myself kindly throughout this day, And then the other thing is, you offered me a while ago, really many sessions ago, the idea of something in fives. Fives what, And so sometimes it's 5 nourishments, 5 spiritual people that I surround myself with, or that I've come into to know. 5 people in my family that I adore, etc. And it's so, it literally lifts the spirit. And then the third thing is looking up, and looking up looking up is like I feel like my body floats in a sense, I feel like there's a spiritual center that comes into being when I look up. And then
if you think about your Jesus statue, when we start a Reiki session, we say, give me the permission to receive. I give myself the permission to receive, and that whole looking up, I think that's what Christ consciousness is these higher chakras, right? So we're opening ourselves up to receiving, and we're looking up to our higher self or spirit, God, universal life force energy, for that to channel into us so we can play our instrument and have a lovely life.
And the thing about that too is, like, if you're in an environment like this that I live in, which is I'm surrounded by 8 acres of woods and trails, and on which sits the log cabin in which I share a place to live. When I look up, I see these patterns intersecting each other called nature, and it's just remarkable, that I would not have, I could have gone to my car, or to the mailbox to pick up the mail without ever giving any sense of my connection to this beautiful aspect of the life that's given us, this blessed miracle, which is called nature. And it's a bountiful gifts.
Well, and my son and I were talking yesterday, because I'm in the city right now working with him, is that people don't look up. And your phone is your worst enemy. It's training you to look down. So really, time alone, we said solitude with Mother Nature helps you align these higher chakras. And so, and then like the next one, we're moving up to the throat chakra, which is communication, not as much as with people, but the communication you have with your intuition or the communication you have with yourself. You know, it's super important to be silent and quiet and just give yourself that time. Is it reprieve where you're just in a no space, no place, so you can just listen to your higher voice again? That's important. We're getting lost. We really are. So I'm going to do the fifth chakra, the throat chakra. You ready?
Ready, ready.
All right. It's the color turquoise. It's obviously right here. And the element is sound. It's communication, creativity, and true self-expression. Like our dancing is true self-expression. Do you communicate well, balancing, talking, and listening? So I love it when we're together. We just go back. It's like a little ping pong game. That's fun. Are you creative in any art form? And that could be, of course, music and poetry and writing. But I have kids that do the cooking. We were talking about a culinary school, or even sometimes mechanics are creative. As long as you're tangibly doing something or you can see it, like painting a car, it's still an art form. Is your voice loud and clear for everyone to hear? I meet these children who whisper a lot. They don't talk very loud. Breaks my heart. Do you express yourself freely without holding your words back? When I was about 30-ish, I got into being myself 100% of the time. And I found myself in groups of people where I said, don't say anything, bite your tongue. They won't understand. Don't say anything. In my head, I was saying that. So I quit going to those functions. I quit going. Let's see. Can you openly communicate how you feel with others? And so the heart chakra is connected to the throat, which is telling people how you feel. So when we're together, we have this lovely open-hearted communication about our lives and what's going on. And if I had an idea and I told you about it, like you have an idea, we listen open-heartedly, open-minded. And then you and I kind of focus on it like these Zoom YouTubes. We just move forward with the idea. But when you're a kid and someone says, that's stupid, that's dumb, who do you think you are when you share an idea? I want to be a dancer. Well, you're too short. You'll never be able to be a dancer. That's using the throat chakra. Thumbs down.
Yeah. So can I read the prescriptions?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So here we go. So it's the fifth chakra. Sing, write, draw, play an instrument, paint, work with clay or wood, talk to someone you trust, go to a festival with music and art, start a band, karaoke, journal, chant or do a mantra, read poetry, write a song, visit the museum, support the arts in your community, be in a play, teach something you love to do to someone you care about, verbally pass down a family tradition, write a letter or attend an opera, wear blue, eat blue foods and fruit. That's, I mean, you listed here among the prescriptions with the word expression. And it seems to me that that's the reaching out and learning. To me, sometimes I think that I want to recede, and actually what I really need to do is to move forward, to step out of myself, in other words, and to take put the fear away of saying something. Oh, you used to think, oh, I'm going to say something stupid, or that's really a really crazy question, or something like that. So it's the matter of trusting yourself and trusting others.
Well, and it's that inner dialogue. So the inner dialogue we have is controlling us. So it's nice to have that time where we're not talking to ourselves, especially if you can't say something nice to yourself, don't say anything at all. But how many times do you think about what you're going to say before you say it? How many times do you worry about the past or anxiety about the present? You're just in this state of constant never being here. So when you're healthy in your throat chakra, you have an intuition, you're in the present moment, you say it out loud, it's perfect. It's called being engaged. But right now we have so much stimulus coming from all around us. It's almost, it's hypnotizing us. It's brainwashing us. So we have to find that solitude we get in nature alone. And it's a practice again, quieting your mind, breathing, and just stopping.
That's so beautiful. And before you talked about it as a discipline, and I think it truly is. I mean, you have to, it's almost like remembering to work out, that it's on your mind. You're so used to it that you go to it and you say, right, here I am. I need to be quiet. I need to meditate. I need to be thinking about my connection to the world. We're going to end now. So that ends part 2. And we'll continue in our next episode of our Energy Matters with part number 3 and the rest of the chakras, which is, as I said at the very beginning in my writing, so new to me and so revealing. Folks, if you want to move closer to Dena Marie's wisdom, then listen to her weekly Friday radio show, Lift Your Spirits, on 1150 AM KKNW. She's the hostess, and sometimes other people take over. Her website is dena-marie.com. And if you go there, you'll get information about her weekly show and a lot more about her spiritual activities that draw people in. My website is anthonymannabooks.com, MANNA. And if you go there and you go to the media section, you'll find my interview with Dena Marie. And also you might enjoy my website if you're interested in children's literature, teen literature, tween literature. It's all about reading and writing and book lists and a lot of suggestions for poetry, getting into poetry, listening to poetry, writing poetry. Anyway, what can I say? We come to the conclusion of episode 33, and it is always a joy.
I look forward to it, and you'll be on my show this coming week. So we're going to be again, we get to do it, lift our spirits twice this week.
Wonderful. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. I look forward to the 11th, and I'll be seeing you. Take good care. All right. Take good care. Bye.